So strong against Malaysia when they got the ball wide and got deliveries into the box. Good block there from Lau, but Gonzalez finds himself through. That's nailed on, surely. Nailed on penalty. Well, let's just hope it's not red, and Sanya has gone into the book. That's going to be a yellow card. It did look as though Gonzalez had twisted his way around and got himself through. It looked as though the opportunity had gone because the shot was blocked on the edge of the box. Somehow the ball fell to Gonzalez. He's gone through and Saina brings him down, and surely this is going to be the opening goal.
Well, you'd have thought so, and I think the referee got that one right. The Laotian players are furious about it, but then I've almost never seen a team accept a penalty against them. They could have claimed there was a foul there initially from Gonzalez, but once that's not been given, and once again there, isn't it a shame that the referee's a bit quick with the whistle, because if he'd allowed the advantage to accrue, Octo went round the keeper and the goal would have stood anyway. Clear penalty, it was a challenge in the area, took the man, didn't get the ball.
Firman Utina, the captain, steps up. Can he make it his 5th international goal for Indonesia? Well, that's as cool as a cucumber in front of the adorning Bung Karno fans, and they've got themselves a little dance. And you can see Marcus Harrison happy with that. Alfred Riedel isn't happy because he's never really happy, but Indonesia are 1-up at a crucial time in the game, Jamie.
Yeah, that's you couldn't say that it was coming, the goal, and suddenly comes out of nothing. Beautifully struck the penalty kick. We usually comment on his use of the eyes, dummy in the goalkeeper, suggesting that he's going to go one way and hitting it. Wasn't right in the corner, but once the keeper's diving the other way, doesn't need to be right in the corner. The skipper showed admirable composure. Keeper's way off his line before the ball struck, but no problems there. Not sure about the bounce at all. Because they are the better footballing team, and if they're playing into the sort of the ploughed field area of the pitch in the second half, chasing could be a problem.
Here's Gonzalez again, right on the shoulder, gets away with it. That was just too quick. A real chance here for 2-0. Mohamed Ridwan skips, jinx past the keeper. It's gone in. The referee has given the goal. He was about to blow for a penalty. Great decision. Mohamed Ridwan gets his 2nd of this competition, and it was all down to a mistake from Laos taking the free kick far too quickly. But Mohamed Ridwan scores his 3rd international goal and makes absolutely no mistake, and also has a dance that's a little bit suspect as I look at you, Jamie, and say, what was Laos doing?
Well, David Booth spoke before the game about he's never quite sure what he's going to get from his team. This was offside against Gonzalez. Why would you do that, Paul? Why on earth would you play a short free kick into a midfield player with his back to the opposition in that sort of situation? It's just suicide.
Great closing down, though. Ahmad Bustoni it was that put the pressure on the Lao defenders. You can see, tried his best to miss it, Mohamed Ridwan. But as it was, it took a little bit of a nick going into the goal. But they won't mind that. They're 2-0 up. They're cruising. They're going to be top of Group A tonight, and they will have qualified and be the first team to qualify from this season's Suzuki Cup.
Gets into their own half, whereas Indonesia are pressing wherever it is on the pitch.
Great ball through to Gonzalez. The touch is let him down, though. But again, they're pressing, winning it back. Gonzalez on the snapshot, pushed just wide by Seng Fa Chan. Needed to be agile, needed to be alert there, because the ball just fell to Gonzalez. He didn't think twice, he just turned and struck it. The keeper did well. There's the turn, there's the strike. Good save.
Well, you could suddenly see what the fuss is about with Gonzalez, because he's had a few situations where he hasn't done well. Poor first touch just now.
Utina looking to try and make something happen, a little give and go. Utina from range! Utina gets his 2nd, and that is game, set, match. In the 50th minute, Indonesia take a 3-0 lead, and there is absolutely no way back now for Laos. They are down and out in today's game, but Indonesia look as though they're going from strength to strength.
That's a quality goal, Paul, there from a quality player. And you're absolutely right, there's no way back for Laos. It's a question of how many. And I think the Indonesians and Alfred Riedler will be disappointed if they come up with less than 6 in this game, because I think the heads will go down for Laos. This is quality. Does well to win the ball back. He's always on the move, but it's not good defensively.
Ball watching.
Ball watching, exactly. But it's a good strike. You see, again, you coach that. You'd say go across goal, because if the goalkeeper gets anything on it, it will break back out, and then Gonzalez following in can score. Natural footballer, instinctive, intuitive footballer, doing things right.
You would have thought the skipper on a hat-trick.
That's elation for Alfred Riedler, by the way. That's how excited he gets.
Well, the arms went out, and that's about as much as you're going to get, unless we get another 5 or 6. It was 65 for the opening game, but it will be jam-packed for the Thai game in a few days' time. Lovely bit of work. Irfan is through, and that is as cool as it comes from the man who has been playing his football in Holland. And what a cool finish from Irfan Bakhtim. A wonderful give and go. He opened up his body and tucked it into that far corner, and that is the goal of the game so far, Jamie Reeves.
Splendid. Lovely football, and beautifully finished as well. Showed all the qualities that were lacking in the previous chance, weren't they? Gets to the position, steadies himself, picks his spot, doesn't just blaze away at it, but just gets an exquisite touch, rifling the ball into the corner of the net. Same for Chung. Really had nothing there he could offer. That's a great little one too. It really is.
Look how he owned himself up there, though.
Thierry Henry. It's the way he scored most of his goals for Arsenal. Getting to that sort of position, opens his body up. Thank you very much.
And let's give a bit of credit to Gonzalez there, who played that ball back into the path of Irfan. That's his second of the tournament. He got one in the opening game, the final goal, which was a 1-yard tap-in against Malaysia. And Alfred Riedler again looking over the moon.
Week against Thailand from them.
Benny Wayudi has just come on. Here he is on the ball, just threading that one forward. So the young defender getting an opportunity to shine. Here's the other substitute, Arif Siono. Flick wide to Benny Wayudi. Time and space. Can he pick out his man? No, he can't. And another chance gone. Oh, and that's a little challenge from behind. That's a little bit silly and a little bit naughty on Benny Wayudi. Winning his 4th cap tonight.
It's got to be a card, that one. Well, he's making the sign of the ball. What on earth does he think? He's coming from behind, taken the man and then got the ball. In a situation where there was no need to make a challenge anyway. He's just come through the man. You haven't been able to do that for about the last 25 years. To be back at the 1966 World Cup to be allowed to do that.
No comment.
Before you were born, Paul.
I wish. Fair man to whip this in. And with 2 goals, I've got a feeling he might have a pop here with the outside of his foot. He's on a hat-trick, and he has done. He's flicked it up there. It's bounced free. What a save, but a simple tap-in. And can you believe Arif Siono has scored his 2nd in 2 games? That's 3 players that have managed to do that today, scored in consecutive games, and this is now becoming a rout. And Arif Siono adds to an impressive tally so far for his career stats. But never mind that, it's 2 in 2 games, and Indonesia clearly going marching on.
Well, it was a good ball played in. It was a difficult ball for the keeper to deal with, and it was never really dealt with properly. And I guess you're looking at just lucky players. Some players are fortunate in the penalty area. As it drops, he had loads of time to turn around. And then all the Laotian defenders, they just stand there and look at one another. They're just completely physically drained.
He had time to sort his feet out as well there. Didn't lash at it with his left. And they've obviously got some sort of disco dance going on here. The clean sheets pretty much all the way. And they come again. Here goes Okto. Okto's got Irfan in the middle. Is he going to use him? It's Okto! Well, it's not Okto yet. It's only 6, but we're getting there. And Okto is a very, very happy man. Points to the sky and the fans. And it was his pace where he left the defenders trailing. And you can see what it means to the fans. They are happy. You called it at least 6, Jamie. And it does look as though it's going to be a rout.
And he took it very well. He probably The easier option was to slide it to his right, where Irfan was in lots of space. Dave Booth obviously upset. Didn't want to be embarrassed. But clever ball, good run. Hasn't got enough pace to run away from everyone, but did well to keep it on his stronger side. Does well here. This touch is good, and just prods it across the line.
Well, we have to ask the question now, Jamie. Are they serious contenders?
Oh, no question at all. I think after the first round of matches, you had to say Vietnam and Indonesia, the two host nations, impressed so much more than anybody else in the competition.
There's no question that this is a fair result anyway, Jamie. But did they deserve that at the end?
Well, it was a chance presented to him by the opponents, but it's a bit disappointing. David Booth would have enjoyed that and got a late goal, but the right result. A good performance from Indonesia, perhaps not as impressive as their game against Malaysia, but a comprehensive win. Can't argue with 6 goals, and he'll be moving on to bigger challenges in the future. For David Booth, back to the drawing board.
I've got to ask you the question again, Jamie. Are we looking at the new champions? Are we looking at Indonesia going on and beating Thailand, going on and beating Vietnam, and lifting the Suzuki Cup, the Southeast Asian Cup, for the first time ever in their history?
Could be. As things stand at the moment, I think an Indonesia-Vietnam final looks on the cards, and that looks a great prospect. Judging the relative merits of the two teams, very difficult at the moment, but I have to say Indonesia have looked hugely impressive so far.
Singapore, Myanmar tomorrow, Philippines, Vietnam tomorrow. We're bringing you all this live, great action of the AFF Suzuki Cup 2010 edition. We've just witnessed a hammering. Indonesia have hammered Laos by 6 goals to 0. They go through top of Group A.